Hi, this is John Musgrave from Music Radar, and in this video we're looking at Filterstep from plugin developer Audiomodern. Filterstep is an easy-to-use step sequencer controlled filter. It includes high pass, low pass and band pass filter shapes, up to 64 steps, and tempo sync division from 1/2 note to 1/64 note. It has handy options to tailor the filter and a bunch of ways to play and edit the steps. There's also randomization, snapshot style presets and MIDI CC support. Let's take a more detailed look at the layout. The plugin interface is divided into two main areas with key parameters in the top half and the step sequencer at the bottom. On the left hand side you can select your filter type, and next to this you have three sliders to adjust the filter: smoother, filter range and resonance. In the middle you'll find the step sequencer randomizer, which is the dice icon, and just to the left the sequencer playback style, which is forwards and backwards or backwards. Below this is the sync setting and number of steps, and then the sequencer lock option, which is the key icon. Once activated, selecting step sliders will lock them and unlock them. And once you're happy, you can deselect the key icon and carry on editing any unlocked steps. The arrow icon to the right removes all locks. On the right you have the wet dry mix, toggle bypass button and tap bypass button, and also the infinity mode. This mode generates a new pattern automatically with a frequency set by the accompanying number, 1 to 64. Set this to 1 and it will generate a new pattern every time the sequence restarts. The sequencer sliders set the filter cutoff frequency, and the window also includes an adjustable loop bar at the top and step-by-step nudge arrows at each end. It's worth noting that the step slider settings are not absolute and are influenced by the filter's filter range. One thing to spot is that the cutoff frequency for the low pass is low at the highest bar position and high at the lowest bar position. The high pass and band pass follow a more obvious configuration, with high frequency at the top and low frequency at the bottom. At the bottom of the sequencer window each step can be bypassed. Note, in bypass mode the whole filter effect is bypassed, so selective use of the bypass option provides a great way to create more choppy style filter effects. Below this you'll find the snapshot style presets. These capture all the current parameters, including slider positions, filter settings and timing options. You can also access preset management options, including naming, via the top bar preset menu. On the right of the menu, in addition to the preset manager, there's a MIDI CC manager, although you may want to just use your DAW's own system for making MIDI CC assignments. As you can see, Filterstep's interface is refreshingly simple to use. It loads up in the reset state with the low pass filter selected, and you can dive straight in with selecting cutoff points. You'll find drawing in steps is very easy, and you can use the cursor much like a brush. There's no grid or snap option for slider levels, so it's all very freehand. That said, quarter notes have paler shading, so you can easily spot where they are. The step scaling also adjusts to the pattern length. Here we've selected a 4-step pattern with division of 1 quarter note. That's one filter value per quarter note, and you can see the display adjusts to represent 1 bar. We can further restrict the pattern length using the range slider just above. With the low pass filter shape selected, our rising step pattern incrementally lowers the filter cutoff. As discussed, the filter itself has 3 controls. Resonance is self-explanatory and at higher levels delivers very edgy sounds. The smoother control meanwhile affects the filter cutoff transition between steps. Try various smoother settings on a slow pattern and you can clearly hear how it influences the filter cutoff, smoothing out the change between values. At higher settings it provides an easy way to create smooth filter moves from just a handful of steps. As mentioned, the low pass filter frequency is scaled the opposite way to the band and high pass filters, and although it may seem counterintuitive, it can create some quite interesting effects if you switch between filter types in real time. Here we have a sequence that is generally ramping down. This creates a low frequency to high frequency sweep for the low pass filter and the opposite for the high pass filter. Another aspect of filter step that we really like is the direction option, and in particular forwards backwards. If you want this to create a repeating cycle in time with the track, then you need to add an extra step, as it doesn't repeat the end values. For an 8-step pattern, select 9 steps. The 9th step will then be the first step in the reverse part of the pattern. Finally, if you're struggling for inspiration, use the dice randomizer or infinity loop. Importantly, both options only change the steps. All other parameters remain the same. So you can use either to find good sounding patterns, then tweak them to taste and save them as snapshot presets. Audiomodern have taken the step processing concept and applied it to a couple more freebie plugins, Panflow and Gate. Panflow features an editable, tempo syncable step sequencer with adjustable threshold and left and right pan limits. You set left-right pan positions around a central line, and edit points can be freehand or snapped to the grid. Meanwhile, the smoothing parameter helps finesse the overall panning behaviour. GateLab meanwhile delivers classic step-based gating and has a split display for independent left and right settings, as well as a dedicated mono mode for simpler gating. Timing options include shuffle amount, and there's also a bunch of preset patterns. Both Panflow and GateLab get some additional options that will be familiar from FilterStep, including looping infinity mode and randomization. If you like FilterStep, GateLab and Panflow, then you may want to check out further plugins from the Audiomodern stable. Options include Soundbox, which is a virtual instrument framework, the sample capture plugin Freezer, and their multi-loop mangling tool LoopMix. Head over to www.audiomodern.com for free trials and more information.